Snapdragon President and CEO Cristiano was so proud of himself at the 2023 Snapdragon Summit. During the keynote, he was so giddy and could barely contain himself. It was nauseating. He spoke of Snapdragon's struggle to establish themselves as the performance leadership for Windows as he triumphantly exclaimed, "We have delivered." Welcome to TimAppleTimes. Today we'll be taking a cynical look at the so-called competition and how we got here. How did we get here? Ah, yes, that's right. Ex-senior SoC chip designers of Apple's. Gerard Williams, who helmed Apple's transition to the 64-bit A7 architecture found in the iPhone 5S back in 2013, had tenured all the way up through the A14 found in the iPhone 12 in 2020. And if that sounds familiar, you're right. The A14 is what the M1 SoCs were derived from. Then you have John Bruno, who arrived at Apple during the iPhone 5's era and exited just after iPhone X's launch. And lastly, there's Manu Gulati's 2012's arrival at Apple. His tenure during some of Apple's most pivotal and impactful years with the iPhone until his departure in 2019 all but solidifies the trifecta of what it was that Snapdragon snapped up for $1.4 billion. Apple. They snapped up a clone of Apple's tech, Apple's R&D, for a mere $1.4 billion, a steal by any assessment. Some would argue that what Snapdragon has done is cheap. I tend to agree. Snapdragon has taken their stab at making ARM-based laptops for years. They partnered with Microsoft and released the ARM-based chip SQ3 in the Surface Pro 9 back in 2020, and that was met with the expected disappointing reviews. So when Cristiano says that they've worked so hard to get to this moment, I hope he's talking about the acquisition team, the ones that acquired a team of ex-Apple chip designers. His bravado feels unearned, his framing is dishonest, and that's all I have for you. My cynical take on the new Snapdragon chips.